Good day, good afternoon to you all. I am Dr. Archbishop Dr. Jameson Pedzisai. I am a director of Jefferson Theological Seminary, Zimbabwe. We provide pure biblical education for all Christians from the age of 15 years and above. You can study Bible courses with us through distance and through branch seminary. For contact, please visit our website on www.jeffersonseminary.com. Today, my Bible sermon is related to the resurrection of Jesus Christ. The resurrection of Jesus Christ is a central event in Christianity, where Jesus Christ is believed to have been raised from the dead on the third day after his crucifixion. This event is seen as a demonstration of Jesus' power over death and sin, and is considered a key part of Christian theology. According to New Testament accounts, Jesus was crucified on a Friday, now known as Good Friday, and his body was placed in a tomb. On the third day, which is now celebrated as Easter Sunday, Jesus was said to have been resurrected, appearing to his disciples and proving his divinity. The resurrection is seen as a fulfillment of Old Testament prophecies and is considered a fundamental aspect of Christian faith, demonstrating Jesus' victory over death and his promise of eternal life for believers. Now, I want to share with you how Jesus proved to people that he resurrected in his flesh. According to New Testament accounts, Jesus proved his resurrection in various ways. Number one, Jesus appeared to the women. Jesus appeared to the women who had followed him, including Mary Magdalene, who had gone to anoint his body. Matthew 28, chapter 28, verse 9 to 10, and Mark 16, verse 9 to 11. If you can read, you can witness this account. Number two, Jesus appeared to his disciples. Jesus appeared to his disciples, including Thomas, who doubted until he saw Jesus' wounds. If you read from John chapter 20, verse 24 to 29, you will understand this. Number three, Jesus showed his wounds. Jesus showed his disciples his hands and side, where he had been crucified and pierced by a soldier. If you read from John chapter 20, verse 20, you will see this. Number four, he was eating with the disciples after resurrection. Jesus ate with his disciples, demonstrating his physical presence. You can read from Luke chapter 24, verse 42 to 43, when he was with the two Clopas and companion who were going to Emmaus. You will read this account. Number five, Jesus invited Thomas to touch his wounds. Jesus invited Thomas to touch the wounds, further demonstrating his physical resurrection. Again, it's in John chapter 20, verse 27. These appearances and interactions demonstrated to the disciples and others that Jesus had indeed been resurrected in his flesh, bodily risen from the dead. Now, I want to share with you the Old Testament prophecies which talks about resurrection of Jesus. We have several Old Testament prophecies which are believed to foretell the resurrection of Jesus. Number one, we have in the book of Psalms, chapter 16, verse 10, it says, "For you will not abandon my soul to Sheol, or let your Holy One see corruption." Peter quotes this in Acts chapter 2, verse 31. applying it to Jesus' resurrection. Number 2, you can read from the book of Psalms, chapter 49, verse 15, which reads, "But God will ransom my soul from the power of Sheol, for he will receive me." This verse is seen as a promise of resurrection. Number 3, the book of Isaiah, chapter 53, verse 10 to 12. It says, "Yet it was the Lord's will to crush him and cause him to suffer. After he has suffered, he will see the light of life and be satisfied. Therefore, I will give him a portion among the great." This passage describes the suffering and death of the Messiah, followed by his resurrection and triumph. Number 4, we have prophet Hosea chapter 2, verse 2. Chapter 6, verse 2. "After 2 days," it reads, "he will revive us. On the 3rd day, he will restore us, that we may live in his presence." This verse is seen as a prophecy of Jesus' resurrection on the 3rd day. The 5th prophecy is from the book of Jonah, chapter 1, verse 17 to, and chapter 2, verse 10. The story of Jonah's 3 days in the belly of the whale is seen as a prefiguration of Jesus' 3 days in the tomb. These prophecies, among others, are interpreted by Christians as foretelling the resurrection of Jesus, demonstrating God's plan of salvation through his death and resurrection. So, all in all, we believe that Jesus resurrected from the dead, and also the followers of Jesus, the Christians, they have to believe that Jesus, like Jesus, we are also to be raised from the dead. So it's true. This is all about resurrection of Jesus, the Messiah. He resurrected with his own flesh, with the flesh which was buried. He showed the wounds. He proved to his disciples. He ate with them. He was not a ghost. It was him, he who raised from the dead. So I've proven that Jesus Christ rose from the dead. Thank you for your listening.